second. Here's the thing with where am I? Here I am. Okay, there we go. Let me put my shirt on. All right, there we go. And this camera works so much better with this hoodie. It's like it can detect me and see me better.
Footman, hear
Pick
me!
your targets!
Give them hell!
Circle! Yeah!
Make a circle! Give them hell! Onward! Form a circle!
Victory!
Onward!
I think I got my guy. Yeah, average height. Here's good, 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 good. Okay. Hmm. Okay, so what were they? Boyars, companions, urban traders. So, what's the weakest background? But we could say hunters or free farmers. Like pole arms to endurance. Depends on what my goals are for the campaign. Well, read the title. Solo leveling. I kind of want to create a character like something that's somewhere close to the main character there. And see how far I can play it. Permadeath and everything, you know? He starts out pretty weak. Two-hander now. Urban artisans. Actually, urban artisans seem like the main, setup here.
Started telling Mr. Bach that this place was pretty dangerous. To this Mr. Bach said he agreed, but Mr. Sohn began to say, "Why did everybody stop and why are you going back empty-handed after all you've been through? After all, we may be the first ones to enter this dungeon, and anyone who doesn't want to go on can come back if they have to. And he will go alone." After these
Tactics
words,
is gonna
the
be
other boys
huge.
began to doubt, for they understood that Mr. Sohn's abilities were incredible, and he had an extremely aggressive style, even among hunters of rank. Yes, this old man, if he wasn't in his 60s, could have joined any major
Charm
guild,
is
and
going to
since we
be a
could only
very
get here
high.
because of Mr. Sohn,
Leadership,
everyone else decided to go
absolutely.
along with him all the
Trade.
way. And when we opened the door to the boss's room, we saw it for ourselves. After that I saw a big room, but I had never seen a dungeon like this. The other guys decided to split up and explore the area. The room looked like no one had been here in a long time. Yeah, also the statues that were around looked creepy, and each of them had different objects in their hands, even musical instruments.
Way with
There
people,
were really a
charm,
lot of them
leadership,
here, and it freaked me
social.
out a little
Yes,
bit.
this
But
is
I also
actually
thought someone was watching us, and when I looked
important.
at the big statue in front of
Fits.
us, it was too huge, and
Where
I
did
hoped
the
it wasn't
sheep
the boss of this
working
dungeon,
for a
because it was
project
too
that
huge
is?
compared to us. We started to look around, but there was
Hunting
nothing
small
here that
game.
resembled the presence of any monsters. But suddenly we noticed some kind of strange magical seal. I called Mr. Song over and told him that there was something written here and he should take a look at it. When we got closer, we saw a runic text on which was written about the commandments of the Temple of Kortanen. The first commandment read, "Worship the Lord," the second was "Praise Lord A," and the third was "Prove your faith."
marched
But
with the
suddenly
camp followers.
Jihu's hand pulled me to the side, and she said that it was a huge statue, and her eyes just moved, looking straight at us. I hoped she was imagining it, but suddenly I noticed that it was getting too quiet and a little colder.
Hearthguard.
When Mr. Sleep finished reading the last text, which said that he who does not keep the commandments can never come back alive, the doors behind us, through which we had just entered, closed. Now we didn't know what to do, and some of the guys couldn't stay here any longer. One of the hunters started saying, "What's going on here?
Okay, join the
This is some
skirmishers.
bullshit.
Like in the beginning,
Coming
he's
here was
pretty
a
weak.
mistake." And he started
So,
to walk away saying,
I would
"Boss or
say-
treasure or something, you can have it all for yourself." And as soon as he
Join
got
the
close to the
skirmishers
door,
it is.
Mr. Song realized something and started yelling for him not to touch the doorknob. And at that very moment, one of the statues cut that hunter
Or
in
you
half.
satisfied. Biggest
After
achievement
that, he
was.
couldn't even stand up. We were shocked by this,
That's some
because we
money
didn't think
land.
these statues could move. I was in agronomic
Had a
shock,
famous
because I didn't
escapade in
think that we would
town.
have to fight these statues.
During
I
its
remember
valiant
Jihu's words
renown.
when she told me that she noticed the statue's eyes moving.
He treated people
And
well.
when I turned around, I saw that the eyes of that big statue had lit up yellow. We're not qualified to know what's going on. After all, that big statue is moving. Oh, and we have to fight them, too. But how can we fight such big and terrible statues? And at that moment I remembered that the guy who was just killed had a D rank. It turns out that even though he was considered weak, he was still stronger than me with a rank
Yes.
like his. But he was killed in one fell
Treated
swoop.
people well.
It turns
I
out
think
that
that's,
this dungeon is rank D at most. I've never heard of such strong monsters in a D rank dungeon.
You're constantly
turns
fair
out
and
that
honest
if
in
all
business
these statues
dealings and
are able
helpful
to
to
move,
those in trouble.
that
In doing
big
so, you got a
tumor
sense
was
of
near us
what
was
made
the
people
boss of
tick.
this dungeon.
Perfect.
How are we supposed to deal with it?
Age of
After
20.
all, we are too weak for such a raid. At this point, I began to remember that this was not the first time I had found myself on death's doorstep. On my first adventure, I fell behind the group and got lost. Then I was shot in the back by an E-rank monster and was hospitalized for several weeks. I even nearly starved to death when I was trapped in a dungeon. Even though all these dungeons were by no means crowned, I was always putting my life on the line. When other hunters traded magic cores for better equipment to hunt stronger monsters and get more treasure,
I think
was
this
always
looks
trying.
good.
I can't do that. I was always without equipment, because buying a cheap ball did nothing for me and it broke quickly. And having a healer meant that all wounds would be healed if they weren't very severe. When I